The Traitors US season 2 is over, and I'm glad. I discovered a traitor amongst us, disguised as a good person. So I did what we would all do: banish them. So today we're reigniting our Scandoval coverage because Tom Sandoval has done it again. He has committed another audacious crime in the eyes of Judge Jenny and the court of public opinion. I may even grant myself an order of protection against this man, and I will tell you all why. Let's go. Before I begin, I just want to remind everyone that this is for entertainment purposes only. Be cool. Don't be all like uncool. But legit, the traders really taught me so many life lessons. I might even go on the cruise of deception next year in April and try to win that $50,000. But before I move on to Scandoval and Vanderpump Rules, I want to make sure I remind you all that I interviewed Trishelle Cannatella, one of the winners of the Traitors US season 2. I felt such a comfortable vibe with her, and she may even help me achieve my new life mission. Maybe I'll tell you all what that is on Patreon, where I'll be giving a review of Phaedra Park's drag brunch at HK Hall in New York City this past Saturday. If you've been following along, you may have heard me talk about wanting a breast reduction for a very long time. I decided to go ahead and let the girls out one last time for Miss Phaedra Parks. It felt appropriate for a drag brunch. Plus, I'm hoping the pictures will become my before surgery picture. So make sure you join Patreon or subscribe on Instagram for that extra content. But let's move on to Vanderpump Rules. As I was having a blast with Miss I Do Too Much Because You Do Too Little, Phaedra Parks, the Vanderpump Rules season 11 reunion filming took place on that same day in LA. And we didn't hear much news other than at the end, I guess Lala and Ariana got into it and they may or may not be friends anymore. So, I mean, I'll watch for that. But I just want to remind everyone, last year during the season 10 reunion filming, I have clips of this. Go to my social media, make sure you follow, because that's where I put all of these bits of content that I get. But last year, Lala was, I think she might have been on live or she did an IG story and she said they're taking away our phones, which was new for them. That same day I went live. I was just going off on like all the latest information that I was getting about Scandoval. I finished my live. I think I was live for like 2 hours. And then I look at my phone. I see a notification that says Tom Sandoval liked a comment I left on one of his Instagram posts from like months before that. It was like 19 weeks, maybe. Insane. But this year, yeah, we didn't really hear that much because I think they were more tight-lipped than prior years. So this week, Vanderpump Rules season 11, episode 8, Peaks and Valleys. The episode description is Katie and Lala hash out their issues after a blowout argument. Sandoval throws himself back into the dating pool with awkward results. Ariana warns Sheena about the consequences of rekindling a friendship with Sandoval. Brock expresses a desire to find out what's next in his career. Schwartz organizes a guys' night with an old friend to help Sandoval move past his issues, but doesn't plan for their checkered past to rear its ugly head. Okay. So this show, Vanderpump Rules season 11, is the only show that I've ever followed along like paparazzi. I was trying to capture everything I could get from social media because I knew that we don't get that on the show. Well, we get some of it sometimes, but I just wanted to capture all of it. I need the full picture. I'm going to be accurately discussing this show. So I posted onto my social media all the behind the scenes social media content from filming, and you can see stuff from the sexy singles pool party. It's people had reactions. One thing that really is disturbing me lately is the way Billie Lee looks at Tom Sandoval. I feel like she's envisioning like chopping up his body, cooking him, and eating him. Like it's so creepy. And I'm sorry. I know I'm the sick one who's coming up with these thoughts, but I watch a lot of true crime, and this group is so scary to me. I feel like I'm watching true crime. I've never felt this way before. But this sexy singles pool party, like even Tom Schwartz thought it was weird and didn't want to be there. So that will give you an idea of how sad and pathetic it was. In the episode description, they mentioned Sheena and Ariana talking. I just wanted to know, Ariana looks so amazing. Like it's not even her hair, her makeup. It's just like her energy. You can like sense that this dead weight has been lifted from her. And she just looks like she's glowing. And obviously, I'm sure she's still hurting from what happened, but like, I want what she's having because she looks good. Ugh, there were way too many Schwartz and Joe scenes, and I'm not joking. Like, I really feel a lot of anxiety whenever they're on the screen. And I can't stop thinking about Bieber loves you. Like, what the hell does Bieber loves you mean? Was that on purpose? Was that a typo? Bieber loves you? What? What does that mean, Joe? Ugh. So I also posted behind the scenes content of the night out where Ariana finally reclaims her friends with Tom present. And it's just mind blowing to me that even Sheena is breaking it down in the most simplest way for Tom Sandoval to understand what it is that we and anyone needs from him. Like we need to see some kind of accountability, and he still refuses to the point where he leaves the party. Like, good dude, go. Okay. So there is a scene with Tom Sandoval and Schwartz. And this man, like Katie mentioned, when Tom like fake apologized to her, she said it's giving audacity. And I have been saying this from the beginning, even when I was live with Donna Bowling of Daily Dose of Donna. She asked me straight up, like, are you so affected by this because you've had a similar experience happen to you? And I thought about it and like, really, no, not like this. You know, some things similar, but like for me, it really is the audacity. The fact that they did this while there are cameras watching is the part that's so crazy to me. It's so bold. It's so insane. I can't imagine thinking that that's okay. I just can't fathom it. Yeah, I said fathom. And the way that Tom Sandoval's crying over his pictures with Raquel, oh my God. But I got something special for you guys. Somebody sent me Tom Sandoval's diary. He even uses Bravo and Blaze stationery. Like, what a creep. Okay. I'll read this one diary entry. July 28th, 2023. Dearest diary. Who says dearest? Okay. I want to talk about me some more. Shocker. Like, why is it so unfair that people don't like me? Someone even compared me to Scott Peterson. What, is that guy even bad? He's a convicted murderer, but I feel like maybe he was mistreated. Just like me. I am so sad. love Tom. And then he even wrote, I'm so extra, and a big lightning bolt. You guys, it's too much. It's too much. So let's talk about Scott Peterson for a second. I hate to like give this guy attention, but I just remember during my life being so shook by the news of what Scott Peterson had done and watching it play out in media and then watching it, like the trial and everything. And I truly have not been this disturbed over anything since that time until Scandoval. So let me give you guys a timeline of what is going on, because I'm not sure if I should get a restraining order or not against Tom Sandoval. So Scandoval happened. It drops March 3rd, 2023. On March 10th, 2023, I go live on Instagram and Larry from Bravo by Gays joins me.
Do you think Tom Sandoval is as diabolical as Scott Peterson?
What? No.
I do. I do think he's just as diabolical. And thank God Ariana wasn't pregnant, or like, who knows what lengths he would have gone to. He literally lied to the world. Like, you could not have a bigger platform of lying to people. Like, it's insane to me. I can't comprehend how somebody could do this.
No. It is crazy. It's very crazy. I mean, I don't think he's like. I definitely think he's a sociopath and a narcissist, but like, I don't think he's a murderer.
On that Instagram, I'm like, this is 7 days in. I am still like so disturbed and shook to my core. At one point, I was like, Larry, do you think Tom Sandoval is as diabolical as Scott Peterson? And I was just being facetious, okay? Like, obviously, Tom Sandoval didn't murder anyone, but I really did and still kind of think that Tom Sandoval is like as diabolical and sociopathic as someone like Scott Peterson. Like, imagine if there weren't cameras around, what would he have done? That's what that's the part that creeps me out. Anyways, so March 10th, 2023, I make this facetious comparison, and I do apologize if it upsets anyone, because that's not my intention. I didn't think that this comparison would go anywhere. But then in July 2023, Tom Sandoval films this scene in the episode that we just watched, where he says people are comparing him to Scott Peterson. And not only did he say it once, he said it twice. So March to July is 4 months. If that comparison was planted in his mind from my IG Live with Bravo by Gays, that means for 4 months he was stewing on this. That is, I'm getting scared, guys. And then November, okay, so July 2023, Tom Sandoval films that scene. We don't know about it. November 2023 is BravoCon. I've said this before on my show and other people's shows. Tom Sandoval approached me during BravoCon. It was the day he was wearing his kilt. I was talking to Captain Carey outside. There really wasn't anyone around. There was like this long bench outside, and there was only one group who was sitting kind of close to where Captain Carey and I were talking, but it was all below deck people. And Tom Sandoval comes outside, sits right in front of Captain Carey and I, and spreads his legs in his kilt. Ugh. I leaned in to Captain Carey and I just said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to excuse myself. I really don't like this guy. So I leave, go on, move on with my life. But then after the end of the party that we were at, we had to stand in line for the elevator. I am standing there and I remember like, oh, I should check on my friend who was kind of tipsy, like I'm a good friend. So I turn around, I'm like, oh, where's so-and-so? And right there is Tom Sandoval hovering over me. Okay. And at that time, I didn't know, like, does he know who I am? And like, has he been like following my content? I know he has because we've actually interacted, but like, we've never interacted in person. So that creeped me out, but I just kept it moving. This past February 15th, 2024, I was on Bravo by Gays podcast. And I even reminded Larry, I was like, Larry, remember when I asked you if you think Tom Sandoval is like Scott Peterson? Do you remember when I went live once? I'm like, oh my God, guys, this is insane. I'm giving updates like real time. And you come on and I'm like, Larry, do you think Tom Sandoval is worse than Scott Peterson? And for a second you were like, wait, and then you realize what I said and you're like, obviously he's not a serial killer. And I'm like, but is he? So I mentioned it again. And then not even 1 month later, on March 19th, 2024, episode 8 of Vanderpump Rules airs, where Tom Sandoval refers to himself as Scott Peterson.
Dude, no. It's not even remotely accurate. I'm being treated like I'm Scott Peterson, and it will linger with me like Scott Peterson.
You're not Scott Peterson. Didn't he murder his wife?
Allegedly.
This is my conclusion, okay? These are the conclusions I'm drawing from this. And I could be wrong, but this is just my gut instinct, okay? 1, Tom Sandoval saw my IG live. 2, Tom Sandoval stewed on my comment for at least 4 months. 3, Tom Sandoval knew damn well who I was at BravoCon and intentionally approached me like a predator. 4, saying allegedly that Scott Peterson allegedly committed murder is so unnecessary. He was convicted. Why are you a Scott Peterson sympathizer? That is so nuts. And I just want to give a side warning. Coachella 2024 is coming up. That's Tom Sandoval's Predatory Playground. Beware. I have a whole video on it. I'll link it. All right, let me move on to the Valley. First of all, let me just say, we needed this Jax Taylor back. We needed him to go in on Sandoval and have that crossover moment. It was so good. Jax, in that moment, was like a ripe piece of fruit. It was just so juicy. I loved it. We needed it so bad. But as far as the Valley, my review, it's already fun and chaotic. The premiere was very entertaining. The side drama is already lit up. Brittany and Jax are allegedly separated. Another couple is separated. I need to catch up because there's so much going on. I interviewed Peter Madrigal recently. And if you go back to our interview, I asked him what are his thoughts on the Valley, and he flat out said it looked like garbage. And I'm wondering if they heard him say that because they blurred him out on the season premiere. Alex Baskin, you're so petty. I kind of like it. Oh, but Kristen Doute's back and she's still unhinged in the best way. She clearly wants a baby, doesn't really care who it's with, I guess. And her boyfriend Luke just seems clueless, like, oh, I'm here for the ride. We'll see what happens. And I can't help but go back to what I've been saying on my show and other people's shows. I think the evolution of future generations is not so much like physical features or anything like that. I think it may be cloning ourselves because let's just say, well, first of all, the technology exists for us to clone ourselves, but not only that, we also have CRISPR technology where you can change pieces of the DNA. So I could make a little Jenny Blaze, but like make her boobs a little bit smaller. Oh my God, I would be amazing. But the reason I say that is because 1, Lala, she just got pregnant with a sperm donor. And I support that. Like I I've been a single mom. I have children. I know what it's like, and I'm all for it. I just don't know if we need to be mixing our DNA with random sperm donors anymore if we have this technology, and if it's as easily accessible, if the cost is the same. I wonder how many women would go that route in the future versus getting a sperm donor or having like a random guy, like your boyfriend, be the father of your child. Like maybe we just do it on our own. I have sci-fi rom-com ideas about this. Maybe someday we'll share them all. I'm going to move on to the VPR after show. So Dancing with the Stars was a big topic, and we all know that Ariana went on Dancing with the Stars. Sheena was mad at her that she didn't tell her right away, even though Ariana has an NDA, and that would be breaking her NDA. And Sheena really always wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars. And Tom took the opportunity in the after show to talk about how it was always his dream of going on Dancing with the Stars, and how Tom took ballroom dance lessons. And out of all the things that Tom Sandoval has done, the only thing that I've heard him say he feels weird about is watching Ariana on Dancing with the Stars. And I find that to be so wild. Really? That feels weird for you? Not sleeping with somebody else in the same house while you're in bed with your girlfriend? You sneak out, go have sex with her friend in another room, and then go back into your bed with her? That's not weird? Oh my God, I can't. I was getting so mad during this after show. He was also justifying his sexy singles party while lying about his own behavior after Scandoval broke, because he's trying to justify like the fact that, oh, I don't think it's a big deal. I just had friends over. You know, if Ariana wanted to have people over, I wouldn't care. Really? Because from what I recall on the finale of season 10, titled Scandoval, he was bitching to Raquel about how she's having a party. All of her friends were gathering to support her during her grieving, and he still refused to leave the house, even though they requested it. I think Chris and Dodie even said, you know, we asked him just to like stay away for a couple hours or like give us a heads up when he comes home, and he still was just didn't care. And then he tells this story of like, oh, you know, Ariana had people over, you know, 5 nights in a row. They're watching TV till 4 a.m. Like, I feel like he's a way worse roommate than anything she's done. But he proceeds to tell the story of how he goes down at like 4 a.m. in the kitchen, sits down and confronts them. And that is so scary. That's like legit my nightmare. I would scream. I would scream. Side note, I just want to mention Jason, Tom's manager, band, drummer, whatever he is. I'm just going to call it now. The man is a human shart. He blocked me. I didn't even know who he was. That's weird. That is unhinged behavior. That is Craig Conover, Lisa Rinna status unhinged. And finally, I think I want to date Tom Schwartz. Okay. But hear me out. He mentioned he would, if he went on a date, he'd be all for somebody just like venting about their ex. So after he said that, I was like, oh my God, I would love to go on a date with him, have him vent to me, tell me everything, trauma dump all of it onto me about Katie, because I would know the whole time that I would still be Team Katie no matter what. And that's just the kind of pettiness that I live for. All right. Well, it looks like I'm back in full force on Scandoval, even though I said I was going to quit. Make sure you subscribe, follow, share, like, leave a comment, and 5-star rating for Bravo and Blaze on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to follow on social media at Bravo and Blaze, because I post almost everything related to what I'm discussing on the show over there, especially Instagram. Until next week, y'all, stay lit.